Let's welcome our first guest up to the stage now, and all the way from Fortress Technology, a stand somewhere over there. Put your hands together for Daniel Shale. Daniel, I promised you lights, I promised you smoke, I promised you music.
Nothing.
You got a great round of applause though, so let's go with what we've got. Grab a seat, Daniel. Thank you very much for joining us. Terrific to see you here. Tell me first of all about Fortress Technology.
Of course, Fortress Technology has been manufacturing in the UK for the past sort of 26 years. Our bread and butter is metal detection, that's what we're known for.
Yep.
But quite recently we've been manufacturing check rays, X-rays, vision systems, loss and rate systems, and some really sort of weird and wacky bespoke inline solutions.
And the tagline, and we can see it on the screen behind us now, never obsolete. Talk to me about how you can make the never obsolete claim, because that's quite a tall one.
Yeah, so it was born out of sort of metal detection. So our metal detectors are quite sort of robust, but obviously, you know, through the decades, the requirements change, so we can upgrade with software, hardware, and you know, keep our kit within times and your requirements.
So we say that software is eating hardware, and you know that's the importance of the software upgradable systems. You get the hardware right to begin with, it's going to last you a long time, and with those software upgrades, it can mean that this is as useful now as it was 10 years ago and might still be useful in 10 years' time as well.
Exactly.
Brilliant stuff. So today we're here specifically to talk about your Vyper Vision system, is that right? We're going to throw to your colleague Paul on the stand in a moment, but is there anything you would like to preface what it is that we're going to be looking at?
So Fortress been doing vision systems for the past sort of 5-7 years. Yeah. I'm really excited to launch this product in 2025. So vision systems generally are quite sort of quite scary for the user. A lot of setup, a lot of learning. Our new system takes all that away. It takes a lot of risk away, automation, time, downtime. It's really exciting.
Very good. All right, so we're going to throw to Paul. A reminder that if you have any questions based on what it is that you're seeing, store them up, because we will be putting questions live to Daniel in a few moments' time. But for now, I'm just going to put my finger to my ear in tried and tested live TV fashion and say, can we go over to your colleague Paul over at your stand? Paul, are you there?
Well, I can go through some of the features and unique things about our system. So, you know, the most important thing is label verification. So we want to be ensuring that the sell by date, use by date, batch information is all present, but not only that it's present, that it's correct. So that is exactly what our system is designed to do. One of the more complicated parts of inspecting a label on a pack is that the pack is required to be centralized or not move around. So if it skews, if it goes left or right, that can make the image recognition very difficult, and sometimes you'll get a no read. So what we're trialing and showing with our system today is you can put our packs through in very unusual orientations, and our software will automatically align the pack and then scan it for the text that you, or the barcode or the date code that you're looking for. So this is really useful because not all factories have control over the product presentation, and with perishable products you don't want to be doing rework, you don't want to be opening the packs because, you know, they've been sealed with an environment. So this just makes the process far more streamlined, far more accurate, which is all efficiency, which is what we want. The other thing we'll show you today is the setup is incredibly easy on our systems. So we have an auto learn function. So you literally select the text and the information you want to scan, and the system will guide you through that process. So previously you had to use very, should we say, clunky software. You had to input lots of fields, create lots of zones to scan. We've sort of modernized that, and we're using technologies that make that process far simpler. And that's all in a lovely, nice, shiny box that we're demoing today. So, you know, if you want to come over to our stand and ask more questions later, please do.
Brilliant. Paul, thank you very much indeed. Round of applause there for Paul. So, Daniel, what we saw there was, in particular, well, what Paul spoke to was the ease of use there, and that was something that you mentioned with vision systems. Sometimes the software can be a bit clunky when you're trying to get the machine to orient itself to see what it is that you want to see, that you want to check against. That's a bit fiddly. What you're saying is that it doesn't need to be that way.
Exactly. So our historic vision system, you'd have to teach a library of characters. So for text you'd have on your packs, you'd have to build up different variations of print, qualities to make sure it accepts. Whereas our new technologies, it's all auto-focus, auto setup.
That's exciting. We're still seeing it on the screen right now. We've gone back live to the stage there. Brilliant. I mean, hey, I'm all for seeing a little bit more B-roll there. So ease of use there. The other thing that was really interesting, I think, that your colleague Paul demonstrated was about how any orientation there.
Pack presentation.
Yeah.
So a lot of difficulties that sites have with presentation. Vision systems, usually the pack has to be presented perfectly to get the correct anchor. So when I talk about anchor, it's a part of the product that the vision system will locate and then measure where the zones are to analyze. That's all automatic as the pack goes through. So every time a pack goes through, doesn't matter if it's sideways, slightly off, it doesn't matter. It will find that anchor and it will rotate it within seconds.
Does that impact the pack rate for the system? Are you having to slow things down?
No.
And what is your pack rate?
What is pack rate? So yeah, you think in terms of processing, obviously you're doing a lot there. Actually, it doesn't slow down in processing. Our pack rates, depending on packs, usually between 160 to 200 packs per minute. But again, that's very much depends on the pack, but also what you're looking at as well. So if you're looking at 1D, 2D, pattern match, date codes, data matrices, you know, if you look at everything, that's going to have an effect. But generally, we look at 160 to 200 packs per minute.
And in terms of the, you know, we're all about data these days as well, and you spoke a big game about software there, of course. So what kind of data are you capturing? What kind of connectivity? What kind of systems are you using to see that?
So generally, with vision systems, there's not much data. Obviously, you've got the amount of rejects. What sort of rejects are there? Are they OCR rejects? Are they barcode rejects? So what we do, our systems are compatible with OPC UA. We have software packages which pull for images, for X-ray images, well, X-ray vision images, and basically puts them into a file audit ready. Okay, so it takes all that stress away from site. So we've got software to organize your data and pull data. But also with OPC UA, it gives you push and pull. So you can read that information, but also integrate your line control into our systems as well. So you've got a lot of control there.
And then building on that integration thought, what are the benefits of combining this kind of vision system that we're looking at here, this kind of inspection system, with other inspection systems as well? Is that possible, and what are the benefits from doing that?
It is possible. So the main benefit for any site is generally you've got existing lines, space. Space is your worst enemy. So if you can get a combination system with metal detection, X-ray, check-ray and vision within a 2.5 meter footprint, that's your advantage.
Yeah, because space is money.
Space is money.
Space is money. Excellent. So that's Vyper Vision. If I were to push you to summarize, and I want to come to your questions in just a moment after this, so sharpen your pencils, please. If I were to ask you to summarize what's unique about about the Vyper Vision system that we've just been looking at in a sentence, give me that 15-second elevator pitch sell, if you like. How would you summarize that?
Oh boy. User experience. It's very much aimed at our operator. It eliminates risk within your line. Training, very, very minimal. It's very easy to look after, very easy to maintain, and you have a lot of control.
Okay, I think that's about 15 seconds. I'll buy that. Daniel, thank you, but I'm not going to let you go yet because we also want to put this out to our audience as well. You've been listening into the conversation. You've been hopefully understanding about some of the benefits of Vyper Vision, and then we've seen it on the Fortress Technologies stand as well. What questions do you have? What haven't we spoken about here? And what question would you like to put to Daniel right now? We've got a question over here. Hello there.
Hello, I'd just like to clarify. You're saying 200 packs a minute, so you're saying you can do 3 positive recognitions per second text reading. Can you do 3 positive barcode or QR code recognitions per second in the same capacity?
In the same, per second. So the limiting factor is not so much for processing time. The limiting factor for us is rejection. So depending on the reject, will determine the amount of packs you can actually work at.
I see, and it has native barcode reading and QR code recognition facilities by itself. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, thank you very much. I wanted to be absolutely clear on that. That's
there we go.
Interesting for our purposes.
Thank you very much indeed for your question. And I guess that just goes to highlight that pack rate is a real sell for you. Even with all of the smart detection that you're doing you're doing there, being able to get that rate through.
That's it. I think our pack rates is for tolerances. So it doesn't have to be perfect. That intelligence it's got is a lot more forgiving, and then you can obviously exploit that with packs per minute.
Good stuff. More questions, please. Any more questions for Daniel? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm just wondering whether it's possible to retrofit to an existing production line.
Good question. So we have solutions, but it has to be enclosed. So we wouldn't be able to fit it onto an existing line. We'd have to replace a part of the line.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Chat.
Thank you. We've got time for another question. If anyone's got something that they want to know from Daniel while he's here. Yes, we've got one question from the lady with the camera at the front. Hello there.
Hi. Can you integrate it with metal detectors or with X-ray? Can it be in one system?
Yes, we touched on it briefly just now. So our vision system is fully compatible and can be integrated into our existing X-ray systems, combination systems, so check ray and metal detectors. Yes, they are fully integratable.
Fantastic. Well, if we have no more questions from our audience, then I will invite. We do have one from the outside. Gentleman on the outside there. Are you really allowed to ask a question if you're not actually in the theatre? We're going to let you.
I'll lean in as close as I can so I'm in there. Obviously, you're saying with some of your units have to come in and replace rather than integrate into existing machinery. What sort of lifespan would you say, so if you put in the brand new hardware with software updates, what sort of lifespan would you say you'd be looking at for these types?
Very good question. Depends how well you look after it. So, in terms of vision, obviously we've had vision systems in the past 7 years, haven't required to be replaced, but we've had technologies since the early noughties, late 90s, they're still going.
Thank you.
Okay, so almost never obsolete, you would say there.
Nearly, yeah.
Okay. Terrific stuff. Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll call this part of Innovations 11 to a close. Thank you for joining us, Daniel. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Daniel Shale from Fortress Technologies.
Thank you, Dave.